脚底再返回来上去阿港。
山高山茶，要不要喝喝看？乌龙 tea. It's very hot. Smell good. Try it, okay. Smell good. Let's eat. It's very good. Taiwan famous light oolong tea from Ali Mountain. If you like the coffee, you can try brown one. Strong oolong. It's different. Also oolong tea, but mountain different. So taste.
对，这个比较清香，
有的 is color different, strong oolong from Taiwan 南投 just a little.
一点点，
You can smell. It's
那你还可以
roasted
做的很好吃。
together.
对，因为
Try it, okay. Smell good. It's a stronger oolong from Taiwan 南投. You can mix milk, oolong milk tea, delicious. Very hot, but the boiling water inside smell good.
对，
台湾
不可能
乌龙
就把水烧了，然后
If you use cold water, cold brew is okay. If your country is very hot, so you can use cold water, cold brew
如
is
果你真
okay.
的少喝，可能再小比较好。
They are same price. It's very hot, but the smell is very nice. It's roasted, stronger oolong. You can mix milk, oolong milk tea. That's one delicious.
鱿鱼啊，可以拿起来试吃。试一下嘛，不要客气啦。拿试一下。
เขาฟังภาษาไทยได้เขามีภาษาไทยไงเห็นปะ
拿试一下。
เขาฟังภาษาไทยได้เขามีภาษาไทยไงเห็นปะเห็นไหมเอาเลยลุยเอากี่อันเอาสั่งก่อน
드시고 싶은 사람 해도 주셔야 돼요. 먹고 싶은 사람 드시고요. 금방 됩니다. 그러니까 하나 시킨 다음에 나와달라고 그러죠. 하나에 50원인데 하나에 드지 마세요. 너무 비싸요. 그러니까 하나를 사서
น้ำชาไก่กระทะข้าวสั้นสองนะคะ
我们刚刚可以试试看看哦，小妹你 try， 试试看看哦，我们刚刚记得
好吃的话就要结婚的人啊。像我们招牌的话，招牌现吃都可以试试，还是现炸的话是招新鲜也是看。
来，你来看很好吃的再看。
这里没有报纸的话，保鲜膜或保鲜膜也可以。这样是200块，谢谢。真的不会煮，不会保存，盒盖上面都有说明哦。谢谢，这是200，谢谢。
可以加点糖水吗？
可以。要冰或热汤吗？
冰的好。
好。
Bye.
4 people?
You want inside or outside?
Outside, please.
Okay, this way.
Thank you.
Turn right, go upstairs.
Alright.
这边再煮2位上楼，2位。
데서 지금 촬영을
보셨어요? 여러분 잘 보세요. 여기가 그 유명한
어.